In this video, we are going to go over how to use elimination when we have to multiply one of the equations by a number. Oh man, that's a little crazy. Let's see what I'm talking about. So the instructions say solve using elimination, and we know to solve using elimination here, even if it didn't say to, because we have two variables on one side of the equation in both equations. Now using that elimination method, if you haven't already seen it, watch the first video on elimination to really see what it's all about. Remember that what we're looking for is we're looking to see where the variables are the same, and then we're looking at their coefficients, the numbers right next to them being multiplied. Now notice that -6 and 3 are not the same, so we can't add them or subtract them to get 0 to eliminate the x's. Likewise with 5y and 4y, if we were to add or subtract them, we wouldn't eliminate them. But if I could multiply 3 by 2, we would get 6x. So that's what I'm going to do because that will make these the same exact value. So I will multiply the entire equation by 2 so that the equation remains the same equation. Otherwise, if you only multiply this by 2, you're changing the line that this equation represents. And you're also changing the equation. So that's going to give us, and all I do is kind of move the equations over. Well, I copy the top equation, -6x plus 5y is equal to 4. And then the bottom equation, everything's multiplied by 2. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 4y is 8y. 2 times 11 is 22. Nice. Now we have that the -6 and 6 we see are the same. So to eliminate the x's, if we add -6 plus 6, we would get 0. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add both equations. And this now becomes just like what I showed you how to do in the first video. It's sweet. So a reminder, I get to this point where I'm about to get to, the elimination step, and then go to the next problem and keep eliminating so that you're practicing the new part. -6x plus 6x is 0. 5y plus 8y is 13y. Interesting number. 4 plus 22 is 26. Nice. So we're left with, and I'm going to move everything over here, 13y, just to get some more room, is equal to 26. Solve away like normal. So 13 divided by 13 is 1. And that's going to leave us with y. 26 divided by 13 is 2. Remember, that's one variable out of 2 that we need to solve for. I'm going to plug into this original equation, and this is important. You always plug into the original equation, just in case you made an error way back here. In that way, if you check your work with the original equations, you'll find your error. But if you plug into a new equation and the error has already happened and check with the new equations, you won't find the error that's happened. So always check in with the earliest stage of the game, the original equation. So I take y equals 2, plug it into here, and so what I get is 3x plus 4 times y, which is 2, equal to 11, and I solve. So I get 3x plus 8 is equal to 11. I subtract both sides by 8. 11 minus 8 is 3. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and that leaves me with x is equal to 1. That's it. So our solution is 1, 2 as a point. And you could check your answer. I'll do that mentally. I've done so many checks. Now you should know how to check your answers by watching previous system of equation videos. But plug this into the original equation that we've yet to use. That's here. -6 times 1 is -6. Plus 5 times 2 is 10. -6 plus 10 is 4. Sweet. One more problem for you. Here we go. So in this equation, again, notice that we have two variables on one side of the equation in both equations. The c values don't have the same number out front, the same coefficient, so they're not going to eliminate on their own, nor will the -12 and the +9 d values. However, if I multiply c by 4, these will be the same right here. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 4. You could also multiply by -4 as well. That would work. So that gives me 4c, multiplying everything by 4. -12 times +4 is -48d. 4 times -9 is -36. Beautiful. And then we're going to copy over the other equation. We haven't done anything to manipulate it. That's 4c plus 9d is equal to 78. Beautiful. So now from here, I need to get rid of the c's. And to do that, I could use subtraction. So I'm going to subtract the bottom equation from the top one. 4c minus 4c is going to be 0. That's sweet. We're in good shape. We've eliminated correctly. Negative 48D minus 9D is negative 57D. Negative 36 minus 78 is negative 114. Ugh. But we solve like normal. So just a reminder, this is the step I'm talking about that I'd like you to get to and stop, and then go and practice 5 or 10 of your homework problems or practice problems so that you get good at eliminating. Then you go through and complete the rest of the process, which I'm about to do. So we get negative 57 times D is equal to negative 114. Divide both sides by negative 57 like we know how, and that's actually a nice number. You get that D is equal to 2. Last but not least, we're going to plug 2 into one of the original equations, one of these two. I actually think this equation's easier because the numbers are smaller. So I've got C minus 12 times D, which is 2, is equal to negative 9. Again, the original equation is what you're plugging into and checking. C minus 24 is equal to negative 9. And then I add 24 to both sides to solve for C. It's just normal equation solving. So that leaves me with C is equal to positive 15. And that's our solution, 15 and 2. We could plug that into this equation, and you know what? It's going to work. I've shown you the checks again and again, so I'm not going to show you the check on that one. Elimination is a beautiful thing, and in a later video, I'm going to show you what happens when you actually have to multiply not just one equation by a number, but both equations by a number to get it so that you can eliminate.